What everyone's talking about around the world and in the room here behind us at the JPMorgan Global China Summit is the trade war and the escalating rhetoric coming, at least from the United States, and the threats of retaliation from China. What does this all mean to you? And when you sit there in Hong Kong as a trade promotion body chairman, this must really bother you.
It is worrying. We have to face the facts. This will continue. I don't think at this moment we can see an end to these trade negotiation or war. And I think there's also the principal problem of structurally the two sides are not seeing eye to eye on basic and fundamentals, right? I think U.S. is very worried about the rise of China, and so would want to do everything possible to contain the rise of China. And so this trade negotiation is only the start.
Now, you, of course, have been a proponent of Belt and Road. You see Hong Kong as playing a financing channel
or capabilities? Not just financing. I believe Hong Kong can become that commercial platform for the Belt and Road, because the Belt and Road will require so much funding and other resources. There's no way China can do it on its own.
How successful has the trade war, and I use successful very loosely, how successful has the White House been in undermining Belt and Road, though, in your estimation?
I think in the Western media, there's a lot of negative reporting on the Belt and Road, but from where we are in Hong Kong, I see a lot of actions and a lot of activities in progress.
You don't think that there are debt traps being laid?
No, I don't believe so, right? The Sri Lanka port. And interestingly, May 7th, there's an article written at in the South China Morning Post by two professors, and they took the time to go and examine the Sri Lankan port, and they came back and said there's no such thing as debt for equity, and it's just a lease, and the payment on the lease was used to pay off more expensive debt. And the ownership of the port still remains in the hands of the government.
But it's not just Sri Lanka that has had these concerns. Malaysia, Mahathir had concerns about the overinflated budget of the East Coast railway system. There's been some claims of, debt. Debt diplomacy in Africa as well. And of course, we had a kind of a rebranding from Xi Jinping a couple of weeks ago. He said they need to control it better. They need to rebrand it and contain corruption. You haven't seen these issues?
Yes, I was in Beijing 2 weeks ago at the second forum. But I guess President Xi made a very strong point. China initiated the project, but this project is for the world, which is why we wanted to establish Hong Kong as the commercial hub for the Belt and Road, because there's no way China can afford to do this on its own.
Speaking of Hong Kong, I mean, the recovery, or the correction, I should say, pretty short-lived in the property market. What's going on here? I mean, there's lack of supply, there's still demand, but last August was the high. We thought that we were going to be in a prolonged downturn, with the Fed obviously going more dovish raising rates, and that brought the correction. Now they've gone more dovish, and we've seen a pickup now for 3 straight months. What's happening?
Well, basically, the land supply situation in Hong Kong is so well known to everybody, right? The government try every possible way to try and find land, but there's just not sufficient land excuse me, for construction of public housing. So now the government is proposing to reclaim land in near the Lantau Island, but that takes at least 10, 12 years. So there's no supply, so a matter of imbalance.
Do you think property prices in Hong Kong will test the August last year highs?
I wouldn't be surprised, but of course, the trade negotiation will also affect the sentiment. I think the last 3 months, because the trade negotiations seem to be going quite well, so people become more confident. But I think now people will probably wait and see again.